Hello, everyone. This is Neo Reality Entertainment here to give you my thoughts on a controversial match. And it's not the match itself that was controversial, it was what happened beforehand. Heading into this world title match between Tessa Blanchard and Sami Callihan for the Impact Wrestling World Championship, this was being built up for months and months and months because, well, Tessa has this big complex story with Sami Callihan, and then this whole issue goes on and on for months, all the way back at Slammiversary. Then after Sami Callihan shocked the world by defeating Brian Cage, and yes, I do own this microphone here, so which means I could do this. I am the champion. So, anyways, so Sami Callihan won the title. Tessa Blanchard came out, confronted him, and this was to build up for their eventual rematch, which would likely be for the world title. Here's the thing I was a little surprised about. Some people were kind of hesitant about this match, not because it's an intergender match. It's more like because they knew that this would be the match Tessa Blanchard would win, and subsequently Sami Callihan's reign would end very shortly and be like, because Sami Callihan is actually a pretty good wrestler, a hardcore one for the most part, but he is a pretty good wrestler. And to hear that Sami Callihan will likely drop the title to Tessa Blanchard after just winning the title, a lot of people were kind of frustrated by that. But like also they love Tessa Blanchard, so really this was a oh god, what do we do here? But luckily, heading into Hard to Kill, Impact Wrestling's Hard to Kill event, it looked like nothing else was wrong. Cue a dramatic tweet that had no context whatsoever, then ultimately gets context with other people. So Tessa Blanchard wrote out a tweet saying encouraging women wrestlers to stand together, saying cool things happen. For the most part, that's basically what it is. And when this happened, a lot of women wrestlers flipped, like they got mad. So I'm looking at some of the tweets right here on my iPad. Allison K, verified on here, said, "Remember when you spat in a black woman's face and called her the N-word in Japan? Was that you supporting women? The audacity of this tweet." Chelsea Green, yeah, crazy girl, crazy girl. She said this: "You consistently put down, bullied, and belittled countless female coworkers, including me. Is that support?" Yeah, I was like, wait, was this like after All In, because they were all tugging and having their arms raised in the air, like were they able to put yeah, I didn't know where all this stuff was coming from. And then Priscilla Kelly, Miss Tampon Girl. Ugh. Remember publicly putting me down on Twitter last year for something that didn't involve you whatsoever, then continuing to drag my name to other people for it? That farm meme remembers. You should probably delete this tweet. And then Moose came to somewhat to Tessa's defense, saying, "I guess you and I am Chelsea Green are absolute angels with a clean past. The timing of these tweets from you guys shows a lot about your characters." Then Tessa Blanchard responded to Chelsea Green saying, "I've never been anything but kind to you. I've dealt with mean girls since I started. I'm a saying, hell, I've had my ups and downs, I've made silly decisions, such as life. You have zero merit in your comments. Instead of putting me down here for a little clap, you've got my number." Then she wrote a tweet saying, "Not true, that's my statement, and the most attention I'll give it because of how actually ridiculous it is." So then, someone named Condescending Hypocrite on Twitter said this: "Apparently this is the queen that punched Tessa after she called her the N-word. I want to say thank you to La Rose Negra." And yeah, there's some images of her, and then one of the commenters on Twitter responded saying, "Does she have a Twitter or Instagram?" And then she actually responds saying, "Me, hi." And that led to a lot of people getting mad about this. So then when I was hearing this, I was like, okay, I'll wait for proof. Like, I was a little odd that these things just happened less than 24 hours before the big pay-per-view event. And then I got some people talking to me saying, oh, that this has actually been told repeatedly over the last 2 years, even before All In, even. It's just never got that much attention, and I was like, okay, like I didn't know any of this, so and like Son Ross Sapp says that there's been ups and downs over it, and like how it's been well documented, and I was like, I never heard of these stuff, so maybe it is. I don't know. I've never heard this stuff. Maybe there was a bunch of stories coming out, but it was so spread out with each other that I con- didn't really form a mass of reports and coming out and getting that huge attention to that extent. Like maybe some article sites ran it, but ultimately, yeah. So another female wrestling rebel said this: "I like to think people change over time, but I can't confirm the bad behavior, non-support attitude in Japan. I was there." And then the La Rose, the La Black Rose from Puerto Rico, that woman that was mentioned, she says to the two who called her out, "Thank you so much. That story, yes, that happens on Japan." And 2017. If Tessa Blanchard do not remember, can I? I'm not a mean girl with any coworkers around the world. Be kind of racist is not be kind of racist is not ridiculous, is a sickness. And then another person came out named Isla Dawn saying this: as someone who experienced your bullying firsthand, received regular verbal abuse, was spat on, had rumors spread about me, dealt with multiple attempts by you to blacklist me from other companies, plus more, I just pray you now follow your own advice. And then when people were asking, wait, why didn't you bring this up beforehand? It just seems a little suspicious. Um, she Allison Kay said this: the reason I never said anything until now is because it wasn't my story to tell. I made it clear to Rosa that I had her back, and today was the day she gave me permission. You can't force someone to come forward, but you can be there for them. That is supporting women. And then we got AEW's Big Swole. So since we're telling stories, Big Swole's turn. I won't speak on all the other stories, but the one about La Rosa, I know personally. This past year at WrestleCade, I spoke to her about this and about hashing it out with Tessa. I spoke to Tessa as well after talking with La Rosa, and I decided it needed to be dealt with. A conversation needed to happen because this was getting intense over the years. As a black woman, this sickened me that this happened to a friend of mine. We have been dealing with this since it happened. It's just now finding light on social media. People are entitled to deal with this how they want. I just want the world to know the last part of the story. So yeah. So yeah, Tessa has been pretty busy in the last couple of years, since even before All In. I was surprised by this, shocked, horrified, and I was just thinking, oh wow. Yeah, and then another report came out that said that WWE didn't want to hire Tessa when they saw promising talent in her, was because of her attitude, which I kind of laughed at a little bit. Not because I didn't get it, I got it, but at the same time I was like, this is the same company led by a guy who can't stand people sneezing because he can't control it. This is the guy that got so offended over two wrestlers saying professional wrestlers, that he buried them for the last 2 years, then squashed any pushes they got, then made them drop the tag team titles right after they just won it. You're really gonna tell me that Tessa was too far? Okay, yeah, the racism part is true. The racism part is concerning. But like Vince is probably racist. Like, look how he treats Asuka and how he didn't want to push her at all because she speaks Japanese and she doesn't speak the American language. Because America, fuck yeah. So yeah, I just found it a little funny that, wait, so you're gonna say that you can't have bad attitudes in the company? Okay, Vince, then by that logic, you should get out of here. So yeah, there was a lot of uncertainty heading into Hard to Kill's event, because now with this reveal and all the stories coming out, that meant that, well, how do you tell this story now? Because now it's like if Impact gives her the title after what just came out, then there's a problem. But if they have Sami Callihan beat her, then this whole franchise push they were trying to give her would have been for nothing. And yeah, they were kind of stuck in this rock and a hard place. Considering the fallout that happened, yeah, it was kind of like one way or another they were going to lose something out of this. So, but since they own AXS TV, Anthem Media does, Impact Wrestling kind of can do whatever they want to some minor extent, unless Anthem steps in and says something otherwise. Oh, by the way, when Anthem bought it, they they basically held New Japan hostage, saying, "Oh, we'll let you stay on this network. We'll renew your contract. We'll extend it even if you want to work with Impact." And New Japan was like, "Fuck that." Okada was screwed by them, so screw them. Yeah, even after over 10 years, they still never forgave them for how they used Okada. But yeah. So heading into Hard to Kill and throughout the show, a lot of people were wondering where this was going to go, because now you had this layer of is it going to happen? Is she going to get the title? Is she going to lose the title? Is she not going to win anything? Is it all going to be for nothing? But yeah, a lot of people were mad. A lot of people heading into the show were kind of mad. Some of my followers were really pissed off at Tessa's attitude when they found out, when it came out, when witnesses came out and testimonials came out. And some of the Elite Wrestling members were pissed off about it, and I don't blame them. I think T Omega, 902 Belts, as he calls himself as well, said that Tessa is this third generation superstar that really could have rivaled Okada, Io Shirai, and so many other talented wrestlers that were currently around and currently on the stratosphere, and how she could have been that, but like now this career killer thing moment for him kind of ruined it for him. So yeah, that's where we're at with this. The match, however, let's get into that. This match was honestly pretty good. I'm gonna say that. Like, I know everyone hates Tessa Blanchard right now on the internet, but yeah. But yeah, what we got in this match was pretty damn awesome. Like Tessa being like, and I love how they keep doing the whole he's not gonna see her as a woman, he's gonna see her as an equal, and I was like, finally. The SJWs would be pissed though, but let's say fuck them. But yeah, when the match first started, I actually thought they were gonna pull a swerve, and due to all the controversy, Sami Callihan was gonna drop her with the cactus special, and then 1, 2, 3, and it's over. Like that was my initial reaction when I heard that. I was like, are they really gonna end it like that? Like, wow. And they're still like 30 minutes in, and really, there's no way where this is gonna go. Like here's the thing. The other reason why I said that if they don't give the title to Tessa, they still lose big time, because they spent months investing in her, and they probably don't have any plans for Sami Callihan as a world champ. And Brian Cage left Impact and is said to be going to AEW. Yeah, that might be a problem. Oh, a big signing for AEW, but still terrible timing for Impact. They are like, let's see, Tessa's getting this controversy, to Brian Cage is jumping ship, Sami Callihan, we have no plans for as the world champion if we had to reverse this idea. Yeah, kind of a shit show all around for that. So, yeah, this match was pretty good. There was an instance where the match should have ended in count out, and Sami Callihan pointed this out, and the referee was saying, no, that's not what happened. I was like, oh god, okay. Now, I could say the problem with this, but at the same time, it's more like depends on how they handle this. Like, maybe they're gonna handle with Sami Callihan calling out this BS, Screwjob saying that they're protecting her because she's a woman or something, and even though I promised to give her an equal treatment. Maybe here's the thing that I think they could do. They could probably fix this. Okay, not really. They can't fix racism with that. They could probably salvage all the stuff that's happened if they go ahead and turn her heel. I know that everyone was cheering for her face, and I know everyone in Texas was cheering for her when she came out. But long term wise, she's probably gonna have to turn heel, just to salvage something from this. So yeah, now you got with all, and this was probably the best match of the three matches they've had. I never saw match two, but I kept hearing a lot of people say it was good, but everyone did kind of want Tessa to win that match because it was going to be for the world title contendership. But there was during the promo, Magnum TA was on there, and I was like, that's pretty cool. That would have been, that guy was really meant for big things. Then a car accident happened and it took away the career. Yeah. In fact, I was also wondering, what does Tully Blanchard think about all this? His daughter's been apparently with witnesses and testimonials coming out. I wonder how he feels about this. Does he care? Like I know for a fact that Tully Blanchard's probably not gonna get his daughter in AEW now if AEW wants to maintain their image of being the wrestling fan company. Even though Brandy Rhodes and the Nightmare Collective still going. Oh, and if my voice sounds a little off, it's because I've been sick for the last couple of days. That's why you did not see another Wednesday night War Roundup video with me and Noah. So, yeah, sorry about that. I'll hopefully try to get things intact heading into the next week. So yeah, I just wanted to really test this microphone. I just got it today from Amazon. So yeah, this match was really good to me. But it, like, the impact of it could have had when it came down to Tessa finally defeating Sami Callihan, winning the title. Like, Impact Wrestling was trying its damnedest to make this work. Like, they were trying its damnedest on Twitter to try and give you this vibe of that something epic just happened. And while it is an epic moment, I said this, like, let me see if I can find it. I had responded to it. I didn't reply in the comments section. I replied as a retweet. But like, Impact Wrestling made some major posts regarding Tessa Blanchard's victory, and one of them after she was raising the title up was this: Angle, Sting, Joe, Foley, Styles, RVD, Hardy, Anderson, Storm, Rude, Aries, Bully Ray, Sabin, Magnus, Young, Lashley, EC3, Hardy, Galloway, Edwards, Patron, Drake, Pentagon, Jr., Impact, Cage, Callihan, and now Tessa Blanchard, hashtag hard to kill. Where they were trying to say, like, this is a big moment. Like, you got all these legends. You got these big names like Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, Angle, Sting, Joe, Foley, Styles. These people who are going to be legends soon. Like, and some who are in the Hall of Fame already. And then you got guys who are really talented like Lashley. Yes, I know what I'm saying. Sue me. Eric Young, EC3, who should be doing much more than catering. Bully Ray with the Dudley Boy career he had. Drew Galloway, a.k.a. McIntyre. Like, all these men, all these legends, and now Tessa Blanchard is on that name as a first ever women's Impact World Champion. And yeah. So now it comes to this, like, and I had some friends on Twitter that didn't know the full story coming out. Like, they didn't hear the witnesses. They were defending Tessa, saying these are just accusations. We need to wait for time for witnesses to come out. And some of my followers fought amongst themselves over this, and I really hate that, especially since that's what happens if I get a big enough follow. It gets problematic when I have to see followers of mine, friends within friends, fight amongst themselves. But it kind of makes things uncomfortable to me. But one of the guys then admitted that he was, when he finally came to realization that Tessa was this and not really the Tessa he thought she was. He was distraught over this and how he was annoyed how he was getting called racist and whatnot. And I was like, dude, I'm black. Like, I'm black and, well, I'm mixed ancestry for the most part, but I'm black predominantly. But yeah. And I said, hey, we're friends, and I'm into ethnicity for the most part. Uh, yeah, and then people were like saying, like, how does this all go now? Um, I don't know where Impact's gonna go with this World Title run. I don't know if they're gonna drop it on the first night, but it looks like since they invested so much, they kind of can't back out now with the loss of Brian Cage. The I'm pretty sure impacted their plans, no pun intended. But all I did say for Tessa that I could hope only that Tessa Tessa could like hold on, let me find it. Like how do I explain this? So I just said Tessa should probably like if it ever comes down to it, Tessa should probably go ahead and hopefully make amends, try and fix all the mistakes she's done, all the horrible things she's done, try and make amends for that because, well, fans still love her, but they don't want to be associated with someone who did all of this. And I was thinking, like, I can only hope Tessa has a chance to change herself. People like JBL and Hulk Hogan, however, they say they'll change, but then contradict themselves barely a few months later. Hogan multiple times, JBL. Uh, yeah, for guys like Hogan and JBL, I will never give them my money because JBL, like, let's see, he goes ahead on Bring It to the Table. You know, that show that ended prematurely and never gave a proper finale because, of course, I still recall seeing this part. He said, Mauro that I would rather charge my phone I would rather involve Mauro being on life support. If Mauro was on life support, he would unplug it just to charge his phone. He hated him that much because of an award he got and an award he got. An award JBL himself got because the fans decided for it, not Maranello's. But, you know, we got to make that personal. And then Hulk Hogan, like, when I found out he was racist, when he made racist comments, I was like, I'm not really surprised. Why is anyone really surprised by this? It's Hogan. How many times has he screwed the fans over? How many times has he screwed wrestlers over the past 30 or so years? Well, why is this surprising? But no. You want to know what really set me off to say I can tell him to go F himself? Was when he said this tweet from 2017 and he deleted it, but fans screenshotted it and people responded to it before it got deleted. So there is evidence that said that Hogan said this. He said this, and I quote, "No water, no power, crybabies. Everyone's complaining. These people have no clue how bad it could be. Praying for those that got hit hard lost." You do realize life support machines were down. People were dead because they didn't have electricity. And you're going to go ahead and say, they're all crybabies. And then let's go into the water part. Do you not know how many people need water to survive? If they don't have access to water, they're screwed. No power? Oh, fuck them. No water? Oh, fuck them. But I'm going to pray for those that got hit hard. It's not like anyone else got hit hard or people died because power was down and life support systems failed because of it. I'm Hulk Hogan. I can do whatever I want because I'm a fucking genius. So pardon me if Tessa has more of a chance to redeem himself than the Hulkster, baby. Or JBL, who thinks he's okay, he's cool with murdering a fellow colleague because how dare he gets an award and JBL got worst reward while Maranello got best reward because the fans voted for it. So yeah, moving on from all those dark thoughts I was having, Tessa Blanchard is now the new Impact World Champion. Hold on. Just give me some shades and I'll probably look like a heel. Tessa is now the world champion of Impact Wrestling. One can only hope she can change her attitude and hopefully things will improve with her one day down the road. I just hope she does it soon, because if a guy like HBK, who was on this self-destructive path, can change, and some will say that's not really counting because he had to find God again, but still it's a big progress, a big leap. But the major thing was the fact that, well, he didn't want his son to go through the same thing he's gone through. But moving on from that, we can only hope Tessa Blanchard makes amends and fixes what she's done and tries to make up for her mistakes of what she committed. But that's all I'm gonna say about that. This match was pretty damn awesome. It could have probably meant a lot more for people had this whole stuff had Tessa made better life choices with her attitude. So what's done is done now. We have to see where this goes for long term wise, and that's pretty much it on my part. This was Neo Reality Entertainment. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and donate. Stay tuned for more. I'll see you all very soon. I'm hoping to make more progress with my thoughts videos.